see you
Hi.
everywhere in the world, like from Argentina to South Korea, through California, and up to the north to Norway. We're here today presenting festivals around the world, and we want to see and listen to and, well, hear to you and see what you're doing, what you did once this all started, and what you're doing today.
Nami Island as a venue is a small tourist spot that is sought yearly by both international and domestic visitors. And Nami Island as an organization hosts a variety of cultural activities, starting from weekly, daily performances and craft workshops for children to quarterly exhibitions, annual festivals, or cultural promotion events in collaboration with various organizations such as UNICEF and with embassies in Korea. So why are we such an avid advocate for culture, especially children's culture? Nami Island's basis for all activities is books. Our founder wanted a place where children could lie around in the lush nature and dream away with boundless books. Nami Book Festival is short for Nami Island International Children's Book Festival. It is a biennial, multifaceted festival based on books.
What are you doing right now? What is the thing that is working best to cope with the situation today?
Because the festival is next year, we still have a little time to see what's happening and observe. And so we actually just this past weekend, up until this past weekend, we were still discussing whether to postpone our next year's festival or to like a later month or even cancel it altogether. But we just made a decision to keep it for May 2021. And so we haven't made any drastic changes just yet. We have to start coming up with it now. The untapped, virtual options too, since we don't know how many international guests and artists will be able to come. So we pretty much see this as a chance for the festival to further include children, create virtual content. We may be thinking of collaborating with some of our top tech companies in creating a virtual festival, but for now we don't have anything. Any major decisions made other than that we will be going on with the festival next year. And fortunately, we still have a little time to see what we can do.
The festival is, as you said, arranged in the beginning of June, end of May each year at Lillehammer in Norway. And it is a non-commercial festival. So last year we attracted more than 30,000 visitors. This year we are going to do things a little bit different. The festival is designed to address literary, social and political questions in a series of seminars and public debates, readings, theater performances, concerts and film screenings. So we are doing a couple of different things to reach our audience during this transition. First of all, we have made a digital version of our festival in collaboration with the national broadcaster in Norway, NRK. So for 3 days in the end of next week, we will broadcast our festival through TV and radio and live stream on the internet. And also, we have made different digital events like reading groups, drawing courses, and so on. And during the digital festival next week, we will also have a digital event where our audience can participate as avatars. So that's pretty new and cool for us. And when it comes to children events, we have chosen to move most of Pegasus to September this year. And we are planning to go through with the festival if it is possible at that time. And right now it looks like that will be possible here in Norway. Right when the lockdown started, the festival was about to start an extensive tour with the Norwegian author Line Renslebråten. And Renslebråten, she was supposed to visit all the libraries in our region here in Norway. meeting all the children who are ready to begin in first grade this fall, and that is approximately 3,500 kids in total. So the goal of this tour was to show the kids a playful way into the world of books by both reading for them and playing together with them with the content of the book, and also drawing for and with them, as Line Renslebråten is an illustrator. At the same time, we wanted to put an emphasis on environmental issues, which is the main theme of most of Line Renslebråten's literature. So obviously we had to cancel this tour, but we made a web-based version that has been seen by over 2,000 different groups of children. The project also came with a web page so that the kids could go in there and choose different activities that they could do at home or in their kindergarten or wherever they were.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I recommend everyone to have a look, because it's like a live thing. I mean, you can see every single drawing. So yeah.
And it is in Norwegian, so you might not understand so much, but still it's based on drawings. So maybe you understand something and can participate in some of the activities.
Well, hello to everyone from very early California. My name is Mina Witteman. I am the Children's and Young Adult Programmer for the Bay Area Book Festival. The Bay Area Book Festival is an in-person festival in downtown Berkeley, which is on the east side of the San Francisco Bay. And we cater to the entire East Bay, North Bay, as well as San Francisco. In normal years, we have about 25,000 visitors to the festival, which is always, or the past few years has been in the first weekend of May. Obviously, we didn't have one this year. As for the children's content, we always had a strong presence for children and young adults. But since last year, we decided to make that presence even stronger. And I thought it would be better to move all the picture book and middle grade sessions. So for the younger children, outside, make it all free, so that whenever children are walking by and see something, they can easily access it, rather than have it inside venues, because we have an open fair outside in a park, and around that we have about 10 venues where we have the different sessions. We have to postpone our festival until next year. But we decided to make it a full virtual happening, and we worked round the clock. We decided on a core of panels that we had scheduled for the live festival, and we started pre-recording those. We have rolled that out. We started with a big bang on the original festival date, and we are airing about 4 to 5 new episodes every week until mid-July. For the children's part, that means that I am putting together 34 virtual programs that all have to be recorded. We did keep in our young local teams moderating everything. So what we do is we bring 2 authors together with the young moderator and have them in a conversation. So what I decided was to get the authors and the illustrators of a picture book together and record them together in conversation as if they would do a school visit. And that works out very well. And it's very surprising, because most illustrators and authors have never met each other before. So for most of them, it's a very new and exciting format.
I work for Festivaletteratura, which is a literary festival that takes place in the city of Mantua in the northern part of Italy at the beginning of September since 1997. We organize about 350 events in only 5 days for all ages and with guests from all over the world. 1/3 of the program is dedicated to children and teenagers. Mantua is in the Lombardy region, and as I'm sure you've heard, it's the part of Italy that has been most affected by the coronavirus in these months. So when the lockdown started at the beginning of March, here all the cultural spaces were closed, and we immediately started to think of a way to keep contact with the audience of the festival and with the readers in a space for virtual events, of course, and in a virtual square instead of a real one, as we're used to that, where people could read and listen and somehow overcome the distances and the isolation of these difficult times, where everyone had limitation in movements and in personal relationships. So we opened what we call the Blue Zone. Blue is the color of the festival, and it now offers hours of free contents and entertainment. We organize 4 different sections, some of them suitable also for teenagers and some of them for kids. We organize a podcast where it is possible to listen to some of the 2019 events. The most successful of the 4 sections has been the podcast. Together with other 6 partners around Europe, and one is here, Magali from Spain. We are working on a project called Read On that a few years ago won one of the Creative Europe calls, and it's dedicated to teenagers between 12 and 19. So what we did to try in these months is to work especially with social medias, WhatsApp groups. We send newsletters and make special Skype calls to gather together the teenagers, trying to keep their attention high, which can be very difficult, on the different activities that are going on and then needs to be developed in the next months. And also giving them reading advices and suggestions of where to find books. But we're also working on a web program, on a radio program, and we will also print a book with different contents from the authors. Okay. So that basically whatever happens, we will be ready. And in case we will still be in lockdown, and we will be forced to cancel the live festival in town, we will still have the web program and the radio program.
Well, Flic Festival is a festival, children and young adult literature festivals organized by Tantagora, that is a not-profit association. And we are focused to work with young and adult literature. And this year we supposed to celebrate the 10th anniversary. And well, because we need to cancel our festival 24 hours before to start. And it was quite shock. But now we are better 2 months later. For sure, Barcelona is not going to be this year. We will postpone for the next year, but Vic will be on October. We changed the dates, and Madrid will be on November. In what we are focused now, it's more or less, as Marella from Italy was explaining, that we are trying to be ready for three kinds of scenarios. We want to be ready for if the things will be as forever as we know, or if the things will be, we need to be more half the festival on a presential or half festival on online, or if we are all at home again. Our festival is a festival that like to work very close to the families and very close to the schools. And as we know now, to be close in a physical way is not very easy. And what we are trying to focus so much now is how we can be close and trying to package our festival to send at the school or at home in a physical way. We we know that we have these online tools, of course, but where or we are working now is on that. If we can kind to try to package our festival and try to send at the school or send at home.
We understand that digital platforms are a very useful tool at this moment, but we have to remember that it's just a tool, so we have to use it such as it is, no? It's a tool and it's not an ending, no? It's not meant to be a project itself. So we have to use it, we have to know it better, but we like to, or we are fighting to how to translate this or essence of the festival, no? That the literature has to be an experience. So that this is how we understand literature.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
For the moment, for the moment, what we are just doing now is we have online radio programs. We have 4 programs of radio since 1.5 months ago, and our intention is that this radio will be part of the festival forever, and that's the thing that we are doing now for the moment.
Okay.
I represent a reading promotion program, which is in Lithuanian called Vaikų Žemė, and it means children's world. And we are somewhat similar to Nami Island, actually, or Tantagora, because we are an organization that organizes a whole array of literature-related activities and events. So creative readings, virtual reality project related to literature camps, etc. And our 2 biggest events are 2 festivals. One is an outdoor summer festival, which happens outside the capital in a beautiful nature setting in a small town of Anykščiai, and that festival is called Adventures Continue. And then the second one, which is happening in the capital, in Vilnius, it takes place in November, and it's called Children's Book Island. So the summer festival, which usually is organized on the second weekend of June, well, we had to move it to August, hoping that it can still happen. And if it doesn't, then we'll just postpone it to next year, because there is no point of making an online version of a festival which should take place, outside in the nature, where it's not only about the event, but also a lot about the setting itself. The idea is we invited authors, writers, and illustrators to team up and create small short stories, 100 word stories, illustrated stories that will have a layout on A4 paper, and the kids can download that, print them out, and then fold it into a book of 6 pages book. So we had a huge response from authors. 55 authors responded. So they teamed up. So there will be around 30 short stories that kids will be able to download and make themselves little books. And that's all for free, of course.
We have, as I was saying, Filva International Festival, which is in September, which used to be in September. This year, we have to change it to a virtual mode. We also have a National Filva Festival, which goes from one city to another every year. And we have Filvita, which is the Children's Literature Festival.
Tell us, Larissa, what you're doing right now, because you have like a very, very good idea of how to set everything into the virtual format. You can tell us about the audio stories.
Yes. Oh, well, when the lockdown started, we started to think how to keep working with readers and what could we offer. We felt that there was so many things circulating, and we need to bring back some silence and some intimate space. And we thought about this program, which is Filvita Cuenta. Filvita tells stories, for which we invite children to read aloud and send us their audios. And we have a page, we have a site inside our page and in Spotify, where we upload a new story every day. It's a very powerful idea because we wanted to think of children not only as an audience, but as readers and as the main characters of our actions. This was the most successful. We started with this around the end of March, and we also have we already have more than 5,000 downloads, which is a lot for us.
I have a question for Justinas. I was very taken by your idea of authors and illustrators teaming up together and creating a new 100-word story with illustrations. Are those illustrators and authors that have never worked together before? And the other question is, do you have a special blueprint that they use so that you can always fold it into a downloaded book?
Yes. So those. Well, there are 55 authors who respond. Thank you very much for the question. There are 55 authors who responded. They were paired. We drew by accident. They were paired accidentally. So in other words, I don't
like
know.
A lottery.
Like a lottery, exactly. Yes, I'm not sure if if some of them maybe have worked together previously, but from what I see, majority haven't. So it's like a new experience for them too. Yeah, and as far we call this format. We didn't know how to translate it, so in English we call it a foldy. So in other words, yes, there is like a blueprint or a scheme which you can use to fold this A4 page into a book, and I can send it to you if absolutely.
I would be interested.
And the whole idea is to so they create those foldies, and on June the 1st, the International Children's Day, we will invite the audience to download them. And also we use it as a tool to invite people to donate to some of the programs that, you know, to, I don't know, children that are in difficult situation right now, children who attend, etc., etc.
It would be a great opportunity to invite children from all over the world and to have our a map with children from different parts of the world sharing their stories, sharing their readings, and that everyone has the opportunity to listen to them as well. It's the different languages, you can understand them or not, but they are some sort of music always, and their voices are a chorus that we will be enjoying if we can share them. So this is like an invitation. If you want to invite from your own festivals to join us, and we can maybe make a map.
We are recording talks with so many different people talking about literature. Some of these people are kids. Mm-hmm. And we are recording these like 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes talks with these kids. Perhaps we can mix all of both in some way, no? Perhaps we can, all of us, we can share this Filva Cuenta. I don't know which is the name now, but and perhaps we can invite some of this child that we can micro talk with them and put it on the radio, and we can share this idea to talk, because talk about literature is one of the best things that we can do with the children.
It's great to mix, you know, to mix things and not to make it dependent on one language, because at the end, if we have a big map, everyone can go and listen to the different languages and to the different stories. And even if I don't understand Norwegian, for instance, it was so much fun to have a look at your webpage, Antia, and you know, it's just traveling a little bit, and what Larissa said before, it's like a melody.